So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's pre-market analysis. So, live IE Srimanji. Good morning, Shiv Pooja. So, we'll start off with Nifty itself. Let's have a look at what exactly happened yesterday. Sorry. So, yesterday we had a very good bear run in the market, if you see. But the initial movement was pretty consolidated. We'll change it to 15 minute and have a look at where we had an opportunity. So yesterday it was opening with a slight gap up. If you see, it opened nearly around 26 100 level, 122 133 if you see here exactly. So after that it pretty much moved in a consolidated way nearly up to 11 to 12 o'clock, nearly that. And after that, if you see a 15-minute range mark, if you see that we gave a proper breakdown over here, and it sustained two other candles also, but the volume was pretty kind of less over here. So there wasn't. So if you see here that the volume is pretty much less over here, and there was an indecision in the market which direction it will be going. So, and it again consolidated within the 15-minute range line, and after that a proper breakdown was given here. So it was near to our pivot line, yesterday's pivot line as well. So we could have got an entry at over this place while it was breaking down the or giving a breakout over the 15-minute range. So if 15-minute range is pretty higher on a particular day, then you can utilize the 45-minute range as well as a range bound breakout, and this exactly same as 15-minute range, and you can utilize the 45, like the third 15-minute candle. That's what I mean, 45 minutes candle. So you can use this as a range if the range points between this first 15 minute is pretty higher, because we know that the volatility is more at the initial start of the market. So you can utilize that. If you see here also, you could have got a pretty good opportunity from onto the downside here. So this was about Nifty, and we got all two of our supports, support one and support two, and it nearly came up to our support three as well, which was at 25,900 was our support three, and it gave a low up to 25,912. So 12 points we nearly got to the downside, missed out. So let's see what it brings for the day. So let's quickly move on to today's level with respect to the pivot line. So pivot line for the day, if I see PP4, this particular Nifty 50 is at 26,000 for the day. So it was actually 26,004, but we'll round it off to 26,000. And support one lies at 25,870. This is where the support one lies, and support two lies at 25,770, 100 points difference with that. And S3 is at 25,635. We will mark it at 30 only. So R1 is at 26,100. So yesterday this was our pivot line. So we had a very good bear flip on the market yesterday. So it began. Now the our pivot line is our R1 for the day, and R2 lies at 26,230. We will mark 240, and R3 lies at 26,330. 30 we will mark. So these are the levels for Nifty for the day with respect to the pivot point. So pivot point is calculated yesterday. I discussed with this also. High plus low plus close whole divided by 3. This is how we calculate the this pivot line. So exactly this is at 26,004. So we rounded it off to this 26,000 itself. So we will mark our pivot line at first. Pivot line is at 26,000 for the day. So 26,000. So yesterday you can see it was at 26,100. So 26,000 and R1 to today it is at exactly same at our pivot line for the pivot line yesterday. So R1 pivot line are marked. We will zone this out. This will be always between the R2 and R3. 230, 240 it is today. 240 is R2 and R3 is at 330. So the consolidated state where R1 and S1, it will be between S1 and R1, 25,870 and 25, 20, R1 is at 25,100. Sorry. So with respect to the bearish side, if you see support 1, 870, support 2 is at 770. So these are the level with respect to today's pivot line, and support 3 also we will mark. So this 25,630 will be the support 3. So very huge difference in between that. We have a very broader range for the day. 630 we will mark. So these are the setups or these are the levels with respect to today's point, pivot point with respect to Nifty 50, and you can see all three supports and resistance are marked over here. So I expect a mild bearish to neutral sentiments opening in the market because it is already close. It is trading below this particular pivot level for the day. So I expect the market to open on slight either on a neutral basis or a bearish sentiments itself. So we will have a look at it after we discuss the Bank Nifty levels as well. So Bank Nifty also yesterday we had a pretty good high range. If you see, it went nearly up to our this thing. So if you see Bank Nifty opened similarity to the Nifty 50 slight gap up, and it gave a breakdown below this particular pivot line of level, and it again retested this particular level and reclaimed and sustained above this level, and after that it properly gave a good run to our R1 for the day. R1, if you see, we'll bring it over here. So it gave the first R1 and then it moved again to nearly 340, 300 level, or R2 was at 300 and again consolidated between, and it gave a proper breakout over here and it tested our support one. So either both of the side we got an opportunity in Bank Nifty with respect to our pivot line. If you see, and volume was also pretty good over here. So this was a proper confirmation for a bullish side entry up to the R1. So it was a good run on Bank Nifty. So we will find out today's level. So Bank Nifty's pivot level lies at 58,930 pivot point. 58,030 and support one lies at 58,550. We can mark 550. and support 2 lies at 58,270, and support 3 is at 57,890. 890 only we can mark them. And with respect to the resistance part, R1 lies at 59,200 200 we can mark. 213 it is. We'll mark only 200, and R2 lies at 59,590. And R3 lies at 59,870. 59,870. So these are the levels with respect to Bank Nifty. We will mark the lines over here. So the pivot lies at 58,930. So the R1 is at 59,200 it is. So there is some mistake over here. I marked it as 50. So R1 also we marked, and the support one also we will mark, which is at 58,550. So similar to yesterday, today also you guys can take up on a trade with respect to the pivot line and consider volume. Only volume as a, you can only just keep volume as a consideration if it is giving a breakdown or breakout above this particular pivot level line. So volume can be give a proper validation to your directional trades. So because Bank Nifty is giving a pretty good range movement as well as opportunities in either side. So if you see on day before yesterday also we had a great opportunity, twice the opportunity as of today. So I expect volume can be really considered as a validation for your directional move. So these are the levels for Bank Nifty for the day. You can consider this pivot line for taking upon an entry, or either you can wait for the first 15-minute range to give a breakout or a breakdown, and you can give volume as a validation for sure in the Bank Nifty. From my perspective, we can validate it with respect to the pure price action basis volume. You can see it in the candle itself. You see here. So proper this, if you see on the 24th, it gave a proper break down over here, but it didn't sustain on a 15-minute time frame. If we see, this is with respect to today's pivot line, but yesterday it was nearly at 20. This 80. 58,980 it was the level, so it gave a proper breakdown over here and it reclaimed that position with a good same. See, if you see that the candles length also, this is kind of a bullish engulfing only. You got a proper confirmation over here, then you could have ridden it up to the R1. So yesterday we got both bullish side trade as well as the bearish side trade. So we will move on to Sensex. So Sensex also similarly almost mirror Nifty only. First initial time it was kind of consolidating within the 15-minute range. It gave a breakout, but it didn't give a proper run to the downside at first. So similar to the after 11, 12 o'clock, it consolidated near to our pivot line and then it dropped back. So you can consider both 15-minute range as well as the 45-minute range. If the 15-minute range is pretty higher and it is consolidating, then you can go for the 45 minutes candle range, and a proper breakout or breakdown can uh, give an opportunity to the either side, and you can validate that move with respect to the volume. So we will mark today's level. I'll change it to 1 day time frame. So today the pivot line of Sensex light at 85,030. So it was at 350 yesterday. So It is a very good bear flip yesterday, though. What exactly happened yesterday, if you see here. So with respect to this, we will plot our levels for the day. So support one for Sensex lies at 84,590 base market, and S2 support 2 lies at 84,270, and support 3 lies at 83,820 wheel mark. So we are again back down to the 83,000 level. We will see what exactly is going to happen in the coming days. And R1 lies at 85,340, 50 we can mark because it is 46, 47. So R2 lies at 85,790, and R3 lies at 86,100. Oh, 86,000. So these are the levels for Sensex today. Similar to Nifty, you can validate in any moment with respect to the volume. Pure price action only you can take the trade even without. So see what whenever we are taking an entry, it will be very better if we take the entry upon the price action level rather than relying on any indicator. So any entry better if we take it on the basis of price action, and you can mark the support resistance or the pivot line levels as a place where we can plan out an entry. So indicator, it is better to use them as a validation rather than taking an entry. I would really suggest it from my side. You guys can really take or utilize indicator as a validation for your particular trade view or a trade opportunity. That will be the best way to do or utilize your indicator, whatever indicator you are using. So it will be very best if you are using one second, let me start from there. So it is always best for you guys to use the indicator as a validation or a double assuring your particular trade entry. So I'll mark this one also. 84,590. So we have a decent range over here. So you can plan your trade with respect to PP, the pivot point, or else you can mark the first 15-minute range. And if the range is pretty big higher, you can either trade a range bound as well, or if you are a breakout or a breakdown trader, then you can consider if the range of 15-minute is first 15-minute is higher, you can consider the 45-minute candle. So we'll come back to Nifty once more and we will see. So we will get the pre-market opening now. We will have a quick look at GIFT Nifty. So it is neutral only. So I expect a slight bearish or a, we will see what exactly, how exactly pre-market is. Yeah, it is opening at 990. So it is flat, so a little bit to this over here. Even if the close is slight neutral opening, we can say. We can say it is a neutral opening and it is exactly opening our today's pivot line. So we'll focus majorly on a breakout trade. We can mark the first 15-minute range and then we can wait properly for a breakout or a breakdown trade, and you can validate it with pure price action on the basis of volume. So you can consider the volume as a breakout validation for your particular entry, or either you can mark the 45 minutes range and then you can trade a range trading setups, or if you can plan a trade with respect to the pivot line any moment above this particular level with a higher volume, then you can go for this R1 and R2 zones respectively. But as of now there is a mild bear flip in the market. We will have a quick look at FIA data. What FIA data shows us. So yes, similar trend continued by DNA and FIA. FIA were the net sellers, downing of nearly 4,000 crore from the cash market, and similarly DA added up, keeping a support balance to our market. So definitely there is a proper indecision in the market with respect to the FIA data. If you see, so we will have a look at FIA's FNO basis data. So net bearish, similar to yesterday net bearish. So flat opening doesn't mean or a slight points up doesn't mean that it's gonna have a bull run. So you should properly wait here. You can validate the movement with respect to the volume. You can consider this pivot line as a mark for that. Then you can properly plan out your trade with respect to this pivot line. So on the basis of volume, we can validate the move. So today also it is net bear, but it is not as much as yesterday. So we will wait for the paper entry to happen. You can validate with respect to the this pivot line. So this is a 15-minute liquidity point. I believe that it might get tested today. So it is very near to our particular S1 support one for the day, and this is the second liquidity level. If the market didn't sustain above this pivot line, then definitely we can plan a trade down below to this pivot line. This support 1 and support 2, we can plan a trade with respect to that, and support 3, if we see that it is pretty far from this particular levels which it been trading, but there is a slight gap over here. It might get filled in coming days, and we will see that. So properly manage your risk for today as well. So properly wait for the confirmation. You should validate your directional move with respect to the volume, and definitely we might be getting a proper entry, and proper risk management risk reward ratio will be also pretty good with if we follow this method. So like I said earlier, you can validate, you can take opportunity, find opportunity with respect to the price action move, and you can consider these levels, say, uh, opportunity finder. Always use your indicator as a confirmation thing. You should use your this indicator as for confirming or double assuring your trade opportunity, not as a trade finder. Me personally, I don't use an indicator to find a trade, but if you see here that on the RSI part, which is an oscillator, if you see that it is nearly trading nearly below the this yellow line is moving average, 14 days moving average line, and it is trading below this level, and it is at 58, which is mild bullish. We can say mild bullish. We can consider it as a mild bullish, but either way it is coming down, and we will see. We will wait for the proper opportunity to appear in the market, and we can validate with respect to the uh, volume. So we will have a quick look at Titan as well. We have discussed this Titan. So it is retesting this level. So whenever this bounce back to this particular level, from here you can take an entry, which I find it as a great opportunity because a multi-month breakout, if I see a proper high have been break from here, and we will wait for this opportunity to happen, and so we will see what exactly happens. So it gave a new high was created, and also a reversal from here point. So if it is again giving a breakout from this level, then we can go for an opportunity, keeping your risk near to 2 to 3%, and you can keep your target as nearly 5%. So if you see here, it is at 65, not to the overbought zone, but we will wait for this particular opportunity to happen. And on with respect to the pattern wise, if you see here, we got a proper double bottom pattern over here. We could have taken an entry over here as well. But yeah, it gave a proper breakout from the ATH here. Then we will wait for this reversal to happen to take an entry over here. So that's all for today, guys. I wish everyone a good trading day. So properly manage your risk. As I said, only keep your this The risk manager, not risk manager, indicator as a validation to your opportunity, not as a trade finder. So thank you everyone. I'll wind up for the day. Have a very good day, everyone. Thank you.